Well, welcome to week 5. This is really going fast. And before you know it, just in 3 short weeks, this class will be over and school will be over and you'll be off to all kinds of fun summer activities. But we do have 3 more weeks to go, so I want you to just kind of keep your head down and keep the goal before you of doing well in class. This is our 5th week. And while this week's reading has to do with global stratification and racial and ethnic minorities, I want to spend some time in the lecture on the issue of race and racism. Once I heard Pastor Jack Hayford state that defining people by race was inappropriate because, quote, there's only one race, and that's the human race. As a sociologist, I struggle with that some, because the establishing a person's race has many functions for society. In this chapter, you will learn how sociologists define the concept of race, ethnic group, and minorities. In this chapter, you will learn how sociologists define the concepts and not always how we commonly understand them. For instance, a minority is not a group with fewer members, but a group with less power and is discriminated against in society. An example would be there are many more women than men in the United States, but they have less job opportunities and work for less pay. An area that I think our text is weak is when it comes to the theories or reasons for prejudice. I want to briefly mention 4 of them. And number 1, the generalized other. This theory states that prejudice and discrimination are rooted in the social need to generalize or stereotype a person or group's behavior. For instance, if someone has glasses hurt you in the past, your consciousness builds the relationships between glasses and hurt, and then classify all who wear glasses as people who hurt. A psychological cost for this can be seen in times of war. The warring people build prejudicial stereotypes in order to dehumanize the opposing people in order to develop the psychological mindset to kill them. When the United States fought the Japanese in World War II, Americans stereotyped the Japanese in the most heinous ways, and vice versa. Competition, either in war or just in society's resources, creates the need to make others less so that one can achieve one group or personal goals. Another theory that describes prejudice or discrimination is the conflict theory. In this theory, the controlling group of society stereotypes people, groups, in order to keep control of society. For example, if we stereotype Hispanics as lazy, a contemporary portrayal, one would not have to hire them. This then would save jobs for others. The functionalist theory is another approach. This theory holds that in order for each society to function, it must have clearly defined roles and classes of people. Hence, prejudice serves as a negative sanction which keeps people in their role and functions for the good of society. The last theory is called the social location theory. This theory holds that people need identity. The social group is a place where they belong. Hence, it is important for people to know the rules of the group. Prejudice helps us to know where we belong and where others belong. While as Christians, most of us would say that the root of prejudice and discrimination is sin, it is worth thinking about the social causes of prejudice and discrimination and its effect upon society. In this chapter, I also want you to really focus on what's the difference between prejudice and discrimination. There's a very clear distinction between the two from a sociological standpoint. Well, the discussion for this week is, you're going to love it, my favorite question, why do men rule? In every society, it seems, men tend to dominate the political, economic systems of society. But so be specific as the social causes and functions of it. Why do men rule? Which specific theory presented in this lecture best describes why this happens? So go back over the theories I talked about and talk about that. So why do men rule? and talk about the theories and functions of men ruling in society. Well, I hope it's a fun discussion. I hope you learned something, and I hope you have a great week.